what's very interesting is we are getting and I think you heard him, like there maybe was a big pop for the and I was popping myself so much loud here. There was a big pop there for the for the announcement of the Galactic Patrol arc, aka Moral arc, for Dragon Ball Super's return, because that's what everybody really wanted, to see the story move forward. And you saw at one point he's kind of going like this, trying to get more of a big pop for the or at least a big pop for the Dragon Ball Super remake. I would describe the energy like the Galactic Patrol arc, the first announcement, exactly what I wanted. Exactly. Well, I think like many of you out there that are Dragon Ball fans, exactly what we wanted. The second announcement, it's like, okay, the animation looks fire. The poster looks fire. But it's a story that we've seen already. And it's a story that we have been, we've seen multiple versions of. Remember, there's this version in the manga by Toyotaro. There's this version of in the movie. There's this version in the super anime. And then obviously that's just based on the Japanese versions. If you watch the dub too, then you got the dub version of both movies. So yeah, and this is like another Battle of Gods remake. Like how many more times are we going to get this? So what was interesting, some of the key interesting takeaways that I got from there, seeing there, is that Akio Iyoku essentially was saying that this is closer to Toriyama Akira's original draft. So this is going to be a lot more closer to that. And I think that's really cool to see there. That's really interesting to hear and note and all that stuff. So that being said, we're going to get Toriyama's original draft, and it sounded like from the voice actors talking about Beerus being more of an intimidating guy and everything and stuff like that. They definitely made sure to show a lot of good action of Goku versus Beerus. So now that we're getting this SS3, I wonder if they're going to implement SS4 and SS3. It looked like they didn't. I think I may have heard that the anime version was a lot more similar to the manga version, essentially. So with that said in mind, because the anime version was similar to the manga version, you get this thing where I wonder how much difference are we going to make in here. And this is some of my things going back with Dragon Ball Super. Is that when I heard they were doing remakes, there were some things that I felt could have been different than what we got in the movies, but they really weren't addressed. They were actually just longer, dragged out versions, and that's what concerns me about the Super version of this. Are they cutting out a lot of the fluff that dragged on? Like from the way they were hyping up, the battles are going to be even more spectacular and more good, because the battle between Goku and Beerus in Battle of Gods was phenomenal. But then when you get to the story of Beerus and Goku, the fight in the anime, that was dragging on. Like there were a few things that I did like about the anime version of Super better than the movie. I like that they made a whole episode of SS2 Vegeta versus Beerus. So we got a lot longer than what we got, because that moment was phenomenal in the movie, but in the anime, it's like it was much longer. So I did enjoy that. One of the things in the anime that I didn't like as much, though, with the battle with Goku and Beerus, was when they both kept colliding their fists together, and it was like almost felt like a whole episode or two just kept dragging on forever and going on and on and on, where they kept colliding their fists and it sent the shockwave throughout the universe. Now, what I did love about that they didn't do in the movie is that it explained this. It gave us a good sense of the power scaling with Goku as a Super Saiyajin God, and Beerus saying that they are controlling their ki, because if they weren't so careful at controlling their ki, it could send a shockwave that would destroy the entire universe with one blow. Like, okay, that's cool to know how strong these guys are, but they just kept going on and on, fist clashing all through it, and it just felt like more and more of them trying to drag things out and everything. And it's like the fight in the movie was so much better. So yeah, I'm interested to see where they go from this. It's going to be a lot more truer to Toriyama's script. But are we going to get a lot of fluff? Like, this shouldn't be more than a few episodes. It really shouldn't when you look at the pacing of the movie. That Battle of Gods arc, I mean, was it like 26 episodes? It felt like 26 episodes. How long is the Battle of Gods arc in the DB Super anime? How many episodes? 14 episodes. 14 episodes that thing spanned, and another nearly as much when you added on the Resurrection F. So I don't think this thing needs to be 14 episodes. Hopefully it runs at a run time that's not too much, but a little bit longer than the movie. I heard somebody once made a edit where they took all the good parts of the Super anime and version of Battle of Gods and all the good parts of the Battle of Gods movie, and they put it together and made like this huge hybrid version. So I feel like the Super anime version should be just a little bit longer than the movie, to fit some of those better things in there. But there's no way this needs to be 14 episodes long, because if this feels like it's just dragging out, you want to like, I feel like the takeaway after watching the Battle of Gods remake, it should be, when watching it, it should be something along the lines of, wow, this was so much better. I didn't know we needed this. We absolutely did need this. This is so much better than any other version, and I'm glad that they made it. But if it just ends up being the same thing as Dragon Ball Super, where it feels long, dragged out, and it's just prettier animation, it's like, and Battle Gods is not a bad movie at all, by no means, but it'd be like making a movie, let's say a movie that's not like Battle Gods that was good. You make a movie that was awful, and you decide to remake the version of it and make it visually more better, and it's like, oh wow, this is visually better, but there's some key fundamentals with the story, and that's the thing. So yeah, like Resurrection F leaves a lot to be desired, I think, story wise, but I don't know what they're going to do with that one. So yeah, and how long is it going to take to reanimate all that with that special animation? Like, this is something that they've obviously been putting a lot of time into. And even some of the shots, like the way Vegeta looked at SS2, kind of looked a lot closer, just like some of the shots, that the way they were framed when it came to Battle Gods, like when he was like, we had that power, like, and he went SS2, like, yeah, I remember that shot being in the anime. So it's like, okay. So I'm really interested to see where that goes, and things of that nature, where that ends up and everything. So, yeah, I'm very interested to see what we're doing here for that. It sounds like, obviously, they got the animation, they had the trailer ready, they've got the voiceover lines ready, and we didn't get much. The production has begun, as stated. The production has begun on the Galactic Patrol arc, and they're doing a remake of Super. So what I'm interested to find out here is, and it's going to be interesting to see, are they doing this separately? Are they working on the Galactic Patrol arc, and they're working on this remake of Dragon Ball Super at the same time? So we're going to be at a point where now you're going to have two Dragon Ball Super animes running at the same time. You're going to have the continuation of where we left off with the original Super anime, and then we're going to have a remake of the anime. Is that what they're going to do? Or it makes me wonder, is it a case where maybe they have, and I don't know if they've animated that much. Have they animated everything from Beerus all the way to the end of the Turn into Power, and this thing starts in 2026 and it's going to run through until they reach the Galactic Patrol arc? That seems like a lot of work to have gotten done in a short period of time. Or is it a case where they've started early production, maybe in terms of like writing, and the idea is that the remake is going to play out through first, and then they'll get to the Galactic Patrol arc, and this is just kind of their way of letting us know that, okay, we do have it in the way, we are looking forward to it, and it being ready, and there you go. Yeah, I don't know about that, but the way it kind of comes off to me is that it feels like they're running at the same time, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the top Dragon Ball YouTubers and stuff like Geekdom 101 could be talking about it right now with like whatever insider information he might have and everything. So we might hear more about this in the coming days and everything. So I'm just giving you like my live reaction thoughts here. But I mean, I guess it's fine. Like, I say it makes the fact that we know the Galactic Patrol arc is in production, I think makes things feel a lot more better. In fact, it's like, okay, had we just got the remake, it's like, why are we wasting time here? But it's like, oh, okay, we got that. And then the remake is coming along the way. I'm like, okay, so they're going to be doing a remake. I understand Battle of Gods. It had its issues. I understand. Obviously, there was a lot of issues with the animation, which they went back and fixed on the Blu-ray releases. And they probably don't want that to be the lasting legacy of it, but it's like, man, yeah. Will I check it out in the fall? Absolutely, I will. But I think what I'm looking for is the first hint, the very first hint, and it feels like the story is dragging. I'm probably dipping out. I'm probably gonna, like, I watched the Battle of Gods in Japanese. I have still yet, as of January 24th, 2026, when I'm live streaming this, I have still yet to go back, and even though I own it, I have yet to go back and really watch no, actually I did watch the English dub, but the Resurrection F arc I have not, because it's like, I wasn't a fan of those episodes, and I know Damon Mills absolutely killed it as Frieza, as he was at the time standing in for Chris Aries. Now of course, obviously, God bless his soul, Chris Aries. Damon Mills is the official replacement now for Chris Aries, Frieza. But man, back then it's like, wow. So yeah, I mean, I love to hear it. We don't have much interaction going on, no interaction going on in the chat here, but I love to hear in the comment section what you guys think about this and everything. What you guys think about this whole thing with Dragon Ball, with us getting the remake. I'll be honest, I'll see how it is, but first thing that it drags, I'm like, nah. I'm all about the fact that we got the moral arc / Galactic Patrol arc confirmed. That is what I'm really excited about and everything. That's what I'm looking forward to and everything. And I'm going to be interested to hearing what Toyo Taro might have for us in the future as we move Dragon Ball, because right now it's about Dragon Ball moving forward. But I'll say this, if they were going to do a remake, this is probably the best way to announce it. Say, hey, we're not forgetting the continuation, but we're also going to get a remake as well. So it's like, okay. But hey, for all we know, let's be optimistic. Maybe it'll turn out better. Maybe it'll be far better paced than the Dragon Ball Super anime was. Maybe it'll blow. It's already blowing the movie's animation away. So the animation looks phenomenal right there. The poster looks awesome, like I said. So for all we know, maybe we'll be like, this is the definitive way for the Battle of Gods to do that. I'm just interested to see what new things they're going to have. They might even do a Super Broly, because I always kind of did wonder, Toriyama, they said he wrote like 3 hours of material, and they had to condense it down to fit within the movie's confines. So we'll see where things go from there. Overall, man, I thought this event was awesome. We got some really good stuff. Dragon Ball fans are eating good again. We are eating good. That being said, guys, thank you for joining me. You can get more Dragon Ball content like there on the stream, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, followed by hitting the notification bell so you can be notified when I have more of my Dragon Ball and other content being released. Until then, everyone, take care.